It's Tuesday the 31st of July 2018. Another month that is just about to finish. Blimey. Anyway, I don't actually have any council meetings or party meetings to go to today, or no residents meetings to go to, although I've had calls from residents about mainly about house building. And I thought I'd just sort of touch on one of the subjects which is in the news every day in Britain, which is Brexit. Now, I'm not a Brexit supporter. I support Remain, and I think the decision by the country 2 years ago to vote to leave was a disaster, a calamity. Nevertheless, the country has voted to do that, and I think it's fair to say that I'm one of these people who also believes that you have to be responsible for your own decisions. You have to accept the consequences of your own actions. So I was never one of those who strongly believed that Britain should remain in the single market or the customs union, and that we should not be trying to enjoy the benefits of being in the club if we're not actually members of the club. You know, you wouldn't at your local golf club demand on resigning your membership, demand that you continue to have the right to play golf and use the facilities at the course. So the middle ground that Theresa May is trying to plot out is one that I think is not worthy, and it's basically trying to have the best of both worlds, trying to eat your cake, trying to have your cake and eat it. And I just don't believe that Britain should be going down that route, because I think it shows us to be an irresponsible nation that's not prepared to accept that in some cases you have to share your sovereignty. Now, I don't support leave, because I think leave would be a disaster for us anyway. A hard Brexit, I know I've just been arguing against a soft Brexit, but I think a hard Brexit is a disaster for the country, and I don't think it gives us our sovereignty back, because we will be a small power floating offshore against an economic superpower. Because at the end of the day, Europe is by far the biggest economy in the world, bigger than America, bigger than China. What happens there affects us here in the UK, and this is why I'm so passionately pro-European, because we as a nation need to be in there arguing our case and making sure that those decisions that affect us directly, actually we have a say on them. And by being in the single market and the customs union but not a member of the EU, we have our rules written for us and we have no say over them. Just as if we have a hard Brexit, we'll have the economic disaster that would go with that, but also it would be the case that whatever happens in Europe affects us here in Britain as well. So I take the view that there is no middle ground. You either are in the EU, accepting your responsibilities as a member with your shared sovereignty, but enjoying the benefits, or you're out and you don't enjoy any of the benefits at all. And my view is that Britain was sold a pup back in June 2016. We were told by the Brexiteers you could have your cake and eat it. You could enjoy all the benefits of being in Europe without actually being in Europe. And then we can go off and get all these so-called fabulous trade deals, which frankly we would be a small nation or medium-sized nation negotiating with somewhere like America or China. We will be small compared to those nations, and therefore any trade deal we would get would be far less than what we can get by being a member of the EU. And I think because we were sold a pup, and because of all the promises of Brexit not being able to be realised, then Britain needs to have a second chance at this decision, and that's why I believe that there needs to be a referendum on where we go from there.